It is an extremely distressing time for the region, and I think one of the concerns, obviously, as we look upon these horrific images of what is happening between Israel and Palestine, is that the war is going to spread to Lebanon, that a new southern front is going to open up via Hezbollah in the southernmost tip of Lebanon. You are in a unique position to actually give us perspective on what lawmakers are saying on the ground. I know you come from the opposition side, but just give us an overview of the types of discussions that you're having right now and Lebanon's preparedness should the war actually be expanded to the country.
First of all, we have to understand that Lebanon has no say in what's happening today. It's Hezbollah. Hezbollah has taken Lebanon hostage. The Lebanese population is hostage of Hezbollah, and Hezbollah is taking orders from Iran. So we are actually today waiting to see what is the strategy of Iran to know what will happen with our country, which is a real tragedy. Because the Lebanese people feel helpless, totally helpless about the situation today. Because we are trapped, we are hostages of an armed militia that has taken power in Lebanon for the past 10 years. And we are waiting to see what will be the interest of Hezbollah in this conflict.
Samy, is there anyone who can restrain Hezbollah? There have been artillery exchanges. There has been exchange of fire at the border. I believe more than 40 Hezbollah fighters have been killed already. And yet we are not seeing an escalation beyond the so-called blue lines. But Iran has said that if Israel were to go for a ground invasion, they would constitute that to be a red line, in which case you may actually see a retaliation and a full-blown escalation from Hezbollah. Is there anyone around who can restrain them, be it within Lebanon or from the international community?
First of all, we have to understand that Iran's interests come first of any other issue, including Hamas and including Gaza. Iran's objective in the region is to expand its power and influence in all the region and become a regional and international power. This is the interest of Iran. We believe that today both sides, Israel and Hezbollah, have no interest in getting this spillover of the conflict, because Iran wants to preserve its power in the region. They don't want to harm Hezbollah. And Israel don't want to open another front. So this is why things are being kept at bay on the northern borders with Israel. So this is why we believe that for now there is no interest in the spill out, but this could change at any moment if Iran changes strategy or Israel changes strategy, and then we fear that Lebanon could be dragged in this war. And the Lebanese people will pay the price very highly. The only way to stop this from happening is to pressure Iran, because Iran is the main player in the region. Iran is training Hamas and giving weapons and missiles to Hamas. Iran is controlling Hezbollah, which means that Iran is the main player. So if we want to stop the spill out, the pressure should be from the international community on Iran.
Samy, it's also coming at a time of extreme unease, very dire economic situation. The trust in the political system, as you know, within Lebanon is at an all-time low. Just talk us through how high the stakes would be, what a cost it would be for Lebanon and for Lebanese civilians if Lebanon were actually to enter into this conflict.
Actually, Lebanon is already drowning under the biggest economic crisis of the history of humankind, not only the history of Lebanon. We are in a huge crisis, and people are getting poorer every day. And this is why an attack on Lebanon can destroy what's left of this country. And it will be very difficult for us to stand up again if we have to be dragged in this war. So yes, there are huge stakes here, and we really fear that Hezbollah, because Hezbollah don't have the interest of Lebanon at heart. It has only the interest of Iran's influence in the region at heart. Hezbollah could be dragged to open the front and drag Lebanon in this big tragedy in the region. So yes, we are very fearful of the situation, and I hope that people will listen, the international community will listen to us as the Lebanese opposition. We are a big group in the parliament. We already issued a common statement asking for the international community to protect Lebanon and asking Hezbollah not to drag us in this war and to accept the supremacy of the Lebanese state over the decision of war and peace. It's the Lebanese government who should be deciding. It's the Lebanese parliament who should be deciding the fate of Lebanon and not Hezbollah. So this is what's at stake today, and I hope that Lebanon will not be dragged in this huge conflict.
Samy, good morning. Juliana here in London. Your message to the international community on focusing their efforts on Iran came through very clearly. I just wonder if you have any particular message for President Biden, who has made it a priority to show face in Israel's stand with Benjamin Netanyahu. But moving forward, is there a particular role that the U.S. can play in preventing the conflict from escalating from here?
We believe that the United States should have, if we really want to talk about the interests of the region, should have two objectives. The first objective is to find a final settlement of the Palestinian-Israeli issue that has been dragging for the past 75 years. I think this is the first thing, is we have to find a final solution based on the international resolutions of the UN. That clearly states that the right of the Palestinians to have a state of their own and to be able to live alongside with Israel without having this eternal conflict continuing. So this is the first thing, is to go ahead with the peace process and the implementation of the international resolutions. And second is to find a way to stop Iran from funding its proxies in the region and destabilizing the region and creating chaos in the region, including in Lebanon through Hezbollah, including in Israel through Jihad Islami or other groups, or in Iraq through the Hashd Sha'bi, or in Syria through the allies of Iran that are today supporting Bashar Assad, the dictator who killed his own people. So I think that these are the two issues in the Middle East today. If we manage to solve these two issues, I think that we will have a region that can prosper, that can be a real asset for the world economic growth. And I think the Middle East would be at peace finally after all these years of tragedy.
And don't we know that we deserve that peace? Samy, thank you very much for joining us today on the show. Samy Gemayel, Member of Parliament and leader of the Lebanon Kataeb Party.